Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to start putting back together all of these component pieces at the front of the car, rebuilding the suspension. So working from the back forward, you'll see that we've got the front cross member. This is where the lower control arms, wishbones all connect to. We then have the reconditioned steering rack, and I'll show a little bit of the video about getting the center lined up for the steering wheel, and then obviously when we get the tracking and wheel alignment done, it should be a lot easier. And then the front anti-roll bar, or sway bar as you call it, which has got the new bushings, new connectors, and then a bunch of bolts over there in the corner. So basically, yeah, we'll get this all put back on the car. The idea today is to get this on, get the wheels back on, get it lowered, and then we can start on the top of the engine. So yeah, enjoy the video. Okay everyone, so I just thought I'd give you a quick close-up of the parts that I'm going to refit. So the front cross member, all reconditioned, repainted. Then the steering rack with the new tie rod ends, new boots, both sides, and then repainted as well. Then we've got the front anti-roll bar, new bushes which hold on to those brackets there, and then the end bushes as well, and the brackets there have been repainted, new bolts and so on. And then we've got a bunch of bolts there which will go on, but yeah, let's get cracking. Okay, so you can see that there was no sound and my microphone had died, so I just want to do a quick voiceover to explain what I'm doing here before mounting the steering rack back to the car. Really, it's about just getting as close as possible to, dead center for the rack, because when you fit the rack, you will need to be adjusting at the tie rod ends to get the tracking as straight as possible. And what you don't want to be in a position of is mounting the rack and having one side too far over where you can't make enough adjustment for the front wheels. So that's not a good place to be. So basically what I'm doing here is protecting the spline with a good piece of tissue, and using a light wrench to basically turn the spline through a 360 degree motion. And the idea is you start with the rack fully to either the left or right, your choice, and what you're trying to do here is establish how many turns from lock to lock the rack has. So going through the motions of 360 degrees, counting 1, 2, 3, and I had 3 3/4 from lock to lock. So to get roughly the center, you're having to divide that by 2. So basically 1.5, which is dividing the 3, and then you want to divide the quarter. So the best way to do that is divide half, which is 1/4 of a turn, and then you've got a quarter turn left, which you then split as a 45 degree angle. So that's what I'm basically showing here. So the idea is go 1, then a half turn, then a quarter, with the additional split between the quarter for the 45 degree. And I basically go through that motion twice just to ensure that I'm roughly there or thereabouts. This sort of fallback as well that you have, certainly on the particular 924 rack, I'm sure many racks are like this anyways, there's a spline groove cut out, which is where you have a bolt that goes through, which is the locking bolt that clamps it to the pinion, and that is also a helpful telltale sign when you mount the rack up into the car that spline roughly lines up. So when you get your angles right, you get the spline matched up as well. So yeah, that really is just a quick guide to making sure that you mount the steering rack, if you do take it off your car, roughly to the center line, so you do have adjustment at either end when you come to get the car aligned. There we go. Okay everyone, so thanks for watching the video for replacing the bottom of the engine, the oil sump, along with all the refurbished parts. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a bit of a slog, but I think it's all worth it in the end. Certainly restoring some of those parts that generally don't come off the car too often, so very useful. Now what I have to start looking at is so firstly doing the front engine oil seal, which is just by the oil pump down there, so I'll do a video on that just to show you what I get through. So a couple of belts to move, but it should be pretty straightforward. After that I am going to do one more compression test on the engine, just to double check that there is an issue. It isn't starting, so I definitely think the head gasket between those back two cylinders have gone, so in that case the videos to come after that will be stripping down the top of the engine, so down through the head, and maybe yeah, getting to refurbish a lot of these parts that you see up here, even to the point of you know, redoing the Porsche badge on top of the engine, which looks a bit worse for wear. But anyway, yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and yeah, please subscribe, and any comments, anything that you might need to know about what I'm going through, then please ask. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.